Aston Villa cruised to a 3-0 win over Young Boys and even had room to see 2 goals ruled out as they crowned their Champions League debut with a fine victory. After taking their time to adapt to their Swiss hosts' plastic pitch, Villa settled when Yori Tielemans drilled home a cross from a Lucas Digne corner in a training ground move just before the half-hour. Farcical defending soon put them in full control as Mohamed Kamara's attempted pass back to his goalkeeper, David von Balmoos, from a few yards out, proved a calamitous decision. Watkins pounced on the ball before he was caught by the home keeper, and with a number of players stopping and awaiting a potential penalty, Jacob Ramsey played on and rolled the ball into the empty net. It could have been 3 before the break when Watkins, who had already missed a presentable chance, rifled in the rebound after his initial shot had been blocked, only for a harsh VR review to judge he had handled the ball in his final touch. There was no stopping the Belgian himself minutes later, however. The summer signing matched his goal tally from the whole of last season, as he leathered in his 3rd since his move from Everton into the same corner to seal a thumping victory in Bern, as Aston Villa ended their 41-year absence from the European Cup in some style. The only black mark for Villa was Watkins being pictured with his heel on an ice pack shortly after he made way for Duran on the hour mark. But boss Unai Emery later said, "He's working well, he played well, and I decided to change him like another player. He's okay." Villa settled to show Champions League class. Sky Sports' Ron Walker, plenty of good sides struggle to transfer their domestic form onto the European stage, especially in the Champions League. This is a different test for Aston Villa to last season's Conference League campaign, with the weight of expectation of a first European Cup campaign in more than 4 decades, but the growth from that run played its part in navigating a trickier test than it seemed on paper. Even though the opposition were not top tier, traveling to Young Boys required a level of maturity to rise above a raucous Wankdorf stadium, put aside that Champions League debut pressure, and put a stamp on the game, especially difficult on an unfamiliar plastic pitch which clearly favored the hosts early on. Emery's game plan worked to perfection, as his side could fall back on training ground routines for their opening goal when Tielemans' strike from a corner settled the early jitters. Emery referenced their Conference League performances after the game, calling their run to the semifinals fantastic. It may not have had the prestige of the level they have now reached, but intimidating away days in unfamiliar parts of Europe have prepared them well for this prolonged group stage, and they are already well on the way to getting out of it.